I'm very pleased to welcome you all on this small but important webinar. Although we are few, Vivekanandji told when he was asked that how many people do you need to change the world? He said that I need only 100 Nachiketas to change the entire world. Okay, so you don't need many people to do good things. But good things start happening with a few, and then they spread like a fire. So we are trying to run this show for the second time today. I did one seminar, or you can say a session on AI for CA article students to make them abreast with the updates on what is happening with the profession, how it is going to impact, and some practical aspects of how one can implement AI into day-to-day practice, and how one can make the activities and the practice smarter with the help of AI, and also upgrade his or her career to the next level into accounting, tax, consulting with the help of AI. Today, in this same series, we are having second session with Rahul Modi. He is also a very close friend and uh, so to say ex-colleague of mine. We worked very closely when he was working with some other firm, but we were having a very friendly relationship. We are moving this session to be like a chit chat with him in the benefit of understanding of certain nuances of CA final and the articleship and the preparation part. We will cross question each other on certain aspects, and we will keep this session very short and engaging. In the process, you can always ask us questions through your chat box, or even through starting your mic and talking to us at the end of the session. Okay. I would like to, before we start the session, want to have a poll on who are you, whether you are already uh, into your articleship, or you are still in the process of deciding how to start and what to do with the CA exams and articleship, or you are already gone ahead and reached at a certain stage in your CA career, and you are on the verge of finishing your CA finals very soon. You can put it on the chat box if you don't mind, so that we come to know current standing. So just say yes if you have not yet started your CA journey. जिन लोगों ने अभी तक अपनी सीए की जर्नी शुरू नहीं की है वो यस कहे. ओके, ये जय इज ऑलरेडी इन आर्टिकलशिप. ग्रेट. कीर्तना and who all are so already in articleship, cleared one group. Okay, just let us know so that we can give justice to the session, right? So that's there is no intention to use this information otherwise. Giving inter CA in May. Okay, very nice. So still to enter the journey. Divit is good day, sir. I am going to attempt inter CA in May. Okay, going to give first attempt in May. Very nice, Pankaj. Thank you, everyone. So more or less, everyone is in the phase of starting the journey, and couple of us are at the stage of already started their articleship. So good, welcome you all. Uh, Welcome, Rahul. You want to say something to start with?
Uh, yeah, so I just want us to make sure that all those who are attending this particular session, there's just one thing, just grab in all the information that we will be sharing in today, guys. Okay, and by the end of the session, you should take home certain things which you had come to the session with a question mark, and I would really want you to spread amongst your friends, amongst your acquaintances, whatever learnings you develop today. And with this, I believe, Vitesh sir, we can just start with the session.
Sure. So, Rahul, I would like to ask you regarding this new model of articleship that has been discussed widely by the ICAI, and what is now going to change in
Okay,
this new model. Can you just throw some light on
sure.
that?
Okay, so well, guys, let us just understand that before 1st of July 2023, okay, there was an old pattern of your articleship which was running for around 3 years. The same pattern of articleship which I believe Mitesh Bhai and I would have done. Okay, so in that
Sure.
articleship, what would happen that you have 3 years. Okay, in that 3 years itself, you will get a period which will be counted as your study leave. Okay, so let us say you are giving May 2023 attempt. Okay, and you clear your May 23 attempt of inter CA. So you become eligible to give your final CA in May 2026, which means 3 years of your articleship. In those 3 years of articleship itself, the institute would allow you a period which will be counted as your study leave. Okay, now certain things which would happen at that point of time. Point number one, even if you had cleared just one group of your inter CA, okay, you were still allowed to start your articleship. This was very beneficial for those students who did not want to shift their final CA attempt. जैसे मेरा एक ग्रुप अगर मई 23 में क्लियर हो गया तो मेरा फाइनल का अटेम्प्ट क्रिस्टलाइज करने के लिए व्हाट विल आई डू, आई विल स्टार्ट विथ माय आर्टिकलशिप इमीडिएटली. Okay, that was one thing which would happen at that point of time. First, second thing which was allowed in the old articleship regime was that many a times we take up articleship, sometimes in peer pressure, sometimes in less informed decision situation, or sometimes just like that. Okay, so the institute would allow a article assistant to take a transfer within the first 12 months of the articleship in the old regime, I'm saying. Okay, जब 3 साल का था, right? So the leave was a part of articleship. Even a one group pass could start articleship, and transfer was allowed in the first year. Now, why am I saying these things? Because I want to compare and contrast the same points in the new scheme of articleship. So from 1st July 2023 जो new scheme आ चुका है articleship का, firstly it was a matter of rejoice because it was just 2 years now. So you have only 2 years of articleship. But let me tell you one thing. Let us say you cleared November 2023 attempt of inter CA. Your final CA attempt still remains November 26. नाउ यू मे वंडर कि सर 3 साल का आर्टिकलशिप था तभी भी 3 साल था और अभी भी 2 साल का आर्टिकलशिप हो गया तो भी 3 साल कैसे है? बिकॉज नाउ व्हाट द इंस्टीट्यूट हैज डन, वेरी सिंपल, यू विल स्टार्ट योर आर्टिकलशिप. 2 साल का आपका आर्टिकलशिप होने वाला है, राइट? एंड 2 साल खत्म होने के बाद यू विल हैव अ विंडो पीरियड ऑफ 6 मंथ्स. आपका आर्टिकलशिप अगर शुरू हो जाता है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल नवंबर 23 में आपने इंटर सीए का एग्जाम दिया, जनवरी 9 2024 को आपका रिजल्ट आ गया था इंटर सीए का, राइट? और आप पास हो चुके. मान लो आपने 1 मार्च 2024 को अपना 2 साल का आर्टिकलशिप चालू कर दिया, तो आपका जो 28 होगा 2026 का, उसमें आपका आर्टिकलशिप कंप्लीट हो जाएगा. February 26 में articleship complete, but you cannot give your final CA attempt. Now you will have to wait for 6 months. And after those 6 months are over, whichever is the nearest attempt, okay, that becomes your eligible final CA attempt, which technically definitely means November 26. ये फर्स्ट पॉइंट ऑफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग है जो बहुत लोगों को नहीं पता कि भाई 2 साल आर्टिकलशिप खत्म होने के बाद 6 महीना वेट करना है. सेकेंड, यहां पर कोई ट्रांसफर अलाउड नहीं है. पहले जो वॉलेंटरीली ट्रांसफर अलाउड था, ये वॉलेंटरी ट्रांसफर यहां पर अलाउड नहीं है. ऑफ कोर्स द आईसीएआई अंडर एक्सेप्शनल सर्कमस्टेंसेस allows you to take a transfer, but voluntarily transfer allowed nahi hai. Second, third, very important. In these 2 years, an article assistant is allowed only 12 leaves per annum. 12 leaves per annum you are allowed. That means in 2 years, you are allowed a total leaves of 24 days. That's it. और कोई आपको लीव्स नहीं अलाउड है, एंड हाउ इज द न्यू स्कीम ऑफ आर्टिकलशिप बेटर फॉर अ सीए स्टूडेंट? डेफिनेटली इट इज बेटर, बिकॉज आपके आर्टिकलशिप कंप्लीट हो जाने के बाद बेटा you will get 6 months of window period, which is the most important period of your study leave. जब पहले क्या होता था 3 साल वाले आर्टिकलशिप में, हर एक फर्म का पॉलिसी अलग है। कोई 4 महीने का लीव देगा, कोई 5 महीने का लीव देगा, कोई कॉम्प ऑफ देगा, नहीं देगा, लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स। बट अभी 6 महीना कांस्टेंट आपको मिलने वाला है। सो दीज आर सर्टेन डिफरेंसेस बिटवीन द 3 years एंड द 2 years ऑफ आर्टिकलशिप। बाय द वे, वन क्लैरिफिकेशन, दोनों में इंडस्ट्रियल ट्रेनिंग इज अलाउड। Both the format of articleship do allow you to go for an industrial training. So that is the difference, Mitesh bhai.
Okay. So tell me one thing now. People who do 2 years of articleship will also get a COP, or they need to do something extra for getting a
नहीं,
COP?
for that आप post qualification 1 साल का articleship है, okay, and then you will be able to get the certificate of practice.
So I would like to clarify for the people joining that COP means Certificate of Practice.
Right.
So most of us, when we were doing our articleship back in 2000, I was doing my articleship. That time, uh, we were all thinking of becoming auditors and holding that pen in our hand and sign balance sheets. And that was kind of a fun factor that we were always working towards. Nowadays, the game has changed, and not many people want to do that, right? Although Modi ji says that the CA has more power, or the pen of a CA has more power than the pen of a Pradhan Mantri of the country also. But still, that is kind of changing. So you have to do one more year of articleship if you really plan to qualify and then start your own practice and hold a certificate of practice after qualifying. Now, the beauty of this process is that, like in the case of MBBS doctor, he has to first pass his exam as a doctor and then go to a village holding a old style bag and a stethoscope and go and treat the oldies in a small village as a part of his training. Now this is being getting implemented in the case of chartered accountants also. So good part is the learning curve will be much steeper after you qualify and do articleship for even 1 year, because you know the theory. Now you just need to do some practice. But on the other end, or on the hindsight, there are certain challenges on the pay part and the engagement part with the firms. So firms will take definite advantage of this and would like to pay you a bit of a lesser salary, or you can say stipend, in those days when you are already qualified and still doing. I remember of days when people were made to do extensions in their
Yeah.
articleship. After qualifying, they used to require to do 6 months to 1 year extension, and that was real pain. Rahul can give his own story on this one, and then we can take another question with Rahul.
Even I had an extension because my articleship journey was a little different. In my first year, I was in a big four PwC. So there we did not get those kind of extra leaves. Second year, I came to a small firm, okay, which was traditional practice. And third year, I went for industrial training. So after I was just in the season of completing my industrial training, I realized that I had surpassed the number of leaves taken. So that was the time when I realized that I will have to undergo an extension. So I had to serve that extension definitely. It was a 2 month extension, but yeah, extension is an extension after all. So that is how it was.
Correct, correct. So it used to be painful. Now this
Yeah,
is going to be mandatorily important if you want to do the practice after
COP,
qualification.
right.
I would like to, at this point in time, want to take a poll. How many of you would like to complete your third year also after qualification, and how many of you wouldn't like to complete? ओके, जिसको जो कंप्लीट करने की सोच रहा है वो यस करेगा, और जो नहीं सोच रहा है वो नो करेगा। तो अपने को थोड़ा आइडिया आएगा कि भाई लोगों को क्या लगता है। अरे जय महाजन बोल रहा है वो करेगा।
वो करेगा।
3 years, ओके ग्रेट। ओके, so the institute is actually planned it very well.
Yeah,
They have given a carrot of two years, and also given you a nice space for doing 6 months study leave, and
yeah,
also given a nice opportunity for the people to work very closely with the firms for 2 years full season, तो पूरा
yeah,
सीजन आपको सीखने मिलेगा।
true.
And at the end it is also made you work after qualifying. So yeah, I think it is a good approach in my view.
Yeah.
What do you think? Is the new model better or the earlier model better? जिसको earlier अच्छा लगता था वो नो करेगा, और जो जिसको अभी का नया मॉडल अच्छा लग रहा है वो यस करेगा। Okay, so let's engage. So we also come to know that you are listening and really interested in this show. Yes? Oh wow.
तो
Most
सबको
of
नया
us are
पसंद है।
saying yes. Okay, great. Definitely yes. Thank
Definitely
you
yes.
guys. So amazing. So we will then move to the next question. That Rahul, after qualifying, now you have been a teacher for so many years, and you would have at least passed through, or people would have passed, thousands of people or articles would have passed through you, or the CA aspirants, so to say, now in the new
Right.
language,
Yeah.
half CA language,
Half
have
CA
passed through
language.
you. What is your feeling? When should we actually start studying after joining the articleship, और आफ्टर क्वालिफिकेशन इमीडिएटली, और एक आध साल जाने देना चाहिए आराम से, उसके बाद स्टार्ट करना चाहिए, क्या करना चाहिए?
Okay. Now this is very interesting. Why I'll tell you. Because every time I meet a CA final aspirant, यही प्रॉब्लम होता है। क्या प्रॉब्लम है कि वो लोग का जो पढ़ाई है वो नवंबर या मई के बाद खत्म हो चुका था। जैसे ही वो लोगों ने इंटर सीए का एग्जाम दिया, वो लोगों का पढ़ाई से दूर दूर तक कोई नाता नहीं था। सो दे हैव स्टॉप स्टडिंग। रिजल्ट हैज कम आउट, देन उन लोग का जो आईटी ओसी वो सब होता है इंस्टीट्यूट का, नाउ दे हैव गॉन इनटू आर्टिकलशिप। सो इट हैज बीन अ गुड 5 months दैट दे हैव नॉट सीन द बुक्स। एंड बुक्स को ना देखना वो इतना अच्छा बुरा आदत है कि वो एकदम फटाफट लग जाता है कि चलो अभी पढ़ना नहीं है। सो नाउ ऑल दे हैव इन देयर माइंड इज कि यस, आई वांट टू लर्न, आई वांट टू लर्न, आई वांट टू डू वर्क, बट दे फॉरगेट दैट थिंग that for them to come back in the momentum which they had in their inter CA, okay, will take time. So the biggest mistake that a final CA student does is that for the first year, I will focus only on articleship. I will not study. I will start studying from the second year, and now तो they are going to make even bigger mistakes, keeping in mind कि 6 महीना है मेरे पास, तो 6 महीना तो मेरे पास ऑफिशियली है, मैं तभी सब पढ़ लूंगा, पर ये नहीं होता है। So my one simple advice is, although in bits and parts, okay, I'm not saying full fledged, वो तो होगा भी नहीं आपसे शुरुआत में, but you keep engaging yourself in studies. Reason is, एक बिल्कुल टच नहीं छूटना चाहिए, ओके। एंड सेकेंड, फाइनल सीए जितना इजी लग रहा है उतना इजी है नहीं। यहां पर सिर्फ मैं एक एडिशनल पॉइंट ऐड करना चाहूंगा दैट द इंस्टीट्यूट हैज केप्ट 6 पेपर्स नाउ फॉर फाइनल सीए टू बी पास्ड, ओके। बट उसके सिवा भी 2 पेपर है जो वो लोग को सेल्फ पेस में क्लियर करने हैं, और अब से जो क्लियर करेंगे उनके लिए 4 पेपर है जो सेल्फ पेस मॉड्यूल आने वाले हैं। सो इट हैज नॉट बिकम 6 पेपर्स। आई वुड लाइक टू जस्ट humbly rectify, there are 10 पेपर्स। तो अगर आपका पढ़ाई छूट गया शुरुआत से ही, राइट, तो ये पेपर भले आपको लग रहा है कि हो ही जाएगा, पर वो एंड तक नहीं होता है, और फिर एंड में सिर्फ अटेम्प्ट पे अटेम्प्ट। सो दैट शुड नॉट बी द केस। सो इट्स बेटर वी स्टार्ट स्टडिंग स्मॉल स्मॉल लिटिल पार्ट्स बट फ्रॉम द स्टार्ट।
Okay, so can you give some tips what to start? Because the problem is many times the classes only start after 2 3 months,
राइट,
and people don't know where to start, what to start, how to start, what to do, क्या कर सकते हैं?
ट्रू। अभी इसमें क्या है कि इफ यू लुक एट द फाइनल सीए करिकुलम, the 6 compulsory paper, not talking about the self-paced online modules right now, okay, if you look at the 6 papers, the biggest paper is your paper number 1, financial reporting, Now, when you come to final CA, definitely your exams are going to be after 3 years. So उसमें से दो पेपर तो automatically wipe out हो जाते हैं. That is direct tax and indirect tax. Because let us say I am giving in May 2026 or November 2026, तो मेरे लिए तो applicable Finance Act ही Finance Act 25 होगा. तो फाइनेंस एक्ट 25 बनेगा ही मई या जून 2025 में लेटेस्ट. तो उसके पहले तो डायरेक्ट टैक्स और इनडायरेक्ट टैक्स पढ़ना विल बिकम इम्पॉसिबल फॉर मी. चलो इनडायरेक्ट टैक्स तो शायद आप फिर भी स्टार्ट कर लो थोड़ा बहुत, पर डीटी तो इम्पॉसिबल है. So the best way a final CA student can start his or her curriculum is with the first paper, financial reporting. Why? There are multiple reasons for that. Number one, that paper does not undergo amendment. First. Second, it is the most lengthiest paper in your final CA. A coaching of financial reporting on an average takes classroom teaching of around 300 to 350 hours. So that in itself is a huge ocean for the students to study. That is the first thing to study. Second, or maybe simultaneous, many students prefer to keep two subjects at one given point of time. So what they can do is they can plan it accordingly. Okay, FR and AFM, Advanced Financial Management. If that is something which they want to do, they can either keep first FR, second AFM. Yeah, FR and AFM can go hand in hand to start with. और ये AFM चालू करने का एक और reason है. I'm telling this out of lot of discussions which I do with lot of final CA aspirants. Many of them want to start CFA. बहुत सारे फाइनल स्टूडेंट्स आजकल एक फैड चल रहा है. जैसे हर एक इंडस्ट्री में एक फैड चलता है, अपने इंडस्ट्री में फैड चल रहा है कि हर फाइनल सीए के बच्चे को सीएफए करना है. ये सर आई डोंट थिंक दे हैव हर्ड दिस फ्रॉम समवेयर. आई डोंट थिंक सीए इज इनफ. तो मुझे साथ में कुछ तो करना पड़ेगा सर. तो मैं सीएफए करूंगा. और सीएफए में सबसे ज्यादा जरूरत क्या पड़ने वाला है वो लोग को? एएफएम का. So that is the trajectory in which they can go. But first up, FR, financial reporting. Second or simultaneous could be AFM. That should occupy them for at least a period of 6 to 8 months. उतना तो टाइम लग ही जाने वाला है दोनों में. Then comes their, other papers.
Okay, this is a good suggestion. ठीक है, तो ये जो फाइनेंशियल रिपोर्टिंग और ये दोनों हम लोग स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं पढ़ने का.
Right.
And I am sure your inter CA knowledge is like a foundational knowledge on the basis of which you can build upon. Even though you cannot learn all the concepts without support, but you can build upon certain concepts to start it. Okay, when we were doing our CA final, I remember of many students who just took one or two papers for coaching, and rest of them they were doing on their own through the modules and other study material available. I was also one of them who finished my final CA without any coaching that time. But nowadays it is very uncommon. But at least that foundational knowledge would help you start the learning in a sooner pace than the classes can start. So our advice would be to start something and keep the pace or keep the momentum on. Right. My next point or next question is, Rahul, there are now a lot of options available online, offline for learning. So people are thinking after COVID that is the online option better or offline option better or hybrid option better? Or is there a
Right.
way in which you can distinguish between various subjects and pick up online, offline basis the different subjects? So I think here the students will need a bit of a guidance as to what do you think as to what they should be doing.
Definitely. Okay. Now, what happens is that there are a lot of factors that a student needs to consider whenever they are deciding whether I'll go for online coaching or offline coaching. Because definitely, like you very rightly mentioned, Mitesh bhai, कि COVID के बाद things have changed, heads up. क्योंकि पहले it would always be, I remember when I would teach in a coaching institute, my first coaching institute, there would be a girl I would take my lecture in Andheri, and at 7 a.m. final CA lecture, and there would be a girl who would be traveling from Palghar to Andheri every day. Palghar, and that's
Wow,
not a joke.
wow.
She would come by 7:20. So one day in the middle of the lecture, there were 1,500 students in the theater, and I just shouted at that girl that how dare you come late for my lecture? It's such an important direct tax lecture. How can you come late? So she explained me after the class that, sir, this is my story. And I could not believe that how could I get angry on such a student? कि भाई इतने दूर से रोज आना अपने आप में एक कमिटमेंट है. एंड आई अपोलोजाइज इन फ्रंट ऑफ द एंटायर क्लास इन द नेक्स्ट लेक्चर. पर अभी क्या है, थिंग्स हैव बिकम वेरी इजी फॉर अस. तो अभी मेजॉरिटी ऑफ द फाइनल सीए स्टूडेंट्स ओके आर नॉट विलिंग टू गो फॉर फिजिकल लेक्चर्स. दे आर नॉट विलिंग. पर इसका एक सबसे बड़ा डिसएडवांटेज क्या है पता है? डिसिप्लिन. Discipline is the biggest factor because the Gen Zs today, they are not disciplined and they will agree to that. क्या हो जाता है कि अगर आपके पास सिर पे एक टाइम टेबल है कि भाई आज 7 बजे लेक्चर में बैठना है, ओके, तो वो लोग को कोई ऑप्शन ही नहीं है पर जाना पड़ेगा. तो दे आर बाउंड टू अटेंड द लेक्चर, एंड व्हेन दे आर बाउंड टू अटेंड द लेक्चर तो वो लोग को जाके पढ़ना भी पड़ेगा और पढ़ाई हो जाएगा. पर ये उनके लिए जिनको डिसिप्लिन का इश्यू है. सेकेंड, अगर यू आर वेल मोटिवेटेड, सेल्फ मोटिवेटेड हो आप, सेकंड डिसिप्लिन का कोई भारी इश्यू नहीं आ रहा है आपके ऊपर, देन डेफिनेटली योर लाइव. अभी क्या ऑनलाइन में भी दो ऑप्शंस है आपके पास. एक है लाइव, लाइव लेक्चर्स हो जाता है, और दूसरा हो जाता है रिकॉर्डेड लेक्चर्स. तो यू कैन गो फॉर दैट क्योंकि इससे बहुत सेविंग्स होगा आपके टाइम का. savings of time could be really enormous because I can really relate to that क्योंकि when a student is traveling, okay, so he is giving away a huge productive time of his day in doing something which is hopeless, that is traveling. So if you are very well self-disciplined, self-motivated, and you think you are not going to have any deviation, so definitely online lectures, but live, preferably live. Online lectures are a good option. Why? वो जो 1-2 घंटा आप डेली का ट्रैवलिंग में डाल दोगे ना बेटा, वो 1-1.5 घंटा 2 घंटे में से मैं तो बोलता हूँ आधा कर लो. आधा घंटा, आधा जो टाइम है वो आप अपने मे बी स्लीप के लिए डिवोट कर लो, पर एटलीस्ट वो बचा हुआ आधा टाइम भी अगर आपने सेल्फ स्टडी डाल दिया तो यू आर गोइंग टू बी वे अहेड देन अदर्स. ट्रस्ट मी. सो इफ यू आर डिसिप्लिन, ऑनलाइन इज फाइन, बट एटलीस्ट फॉर सम सब्जेक्ट्स you have to go for an offline lecture because that also depends upon the student. How? I'll tell you. Let's say you are very good in practical papers, exceptionally good in practical papers. तो वो अगर आप Zoom live या recorded भी देख लोगे ना तो it may not hit you. वो आपको problematic नहीं होगा. पर अगर कोई theory में कच्चा है और उसका recorded lecture लेके बैठ गया है, trust me, उसका validity खत्म हो जाएगा पर lectures खत्म नहीं होगा. और ये मितेश सर एक डेटा है जो हम लोग के पास आया था कि आउट ऑफ
Mhm.
ऑल द रिकॉर्डेड लेक्चर्स विच आर परचेस्ड थ्रू आउट द कंट्री, वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग टू नो, पूरे इंडिया में जितने भी सब्जेक्ट्स के जितने भी रिकॉर्डेड लेक्चर्स परचेस किए जाते हैं उसमें से नॉट इवन 25% बच्चे 100% लेक्चर्स देखते हैं. नॉट इवन 25%.
Oh, okay. That's a that's a
That is very
disturbing
sad,
data.
very sad. That is because students are not having discipline. So इसके लिए if you are weak in any subject, first analyze, खुद का SWOT एनालिसिस करो. जो भी वीक सब्जेक्ट है उसको लाइटली मत लो, उसके लिए फिजिकल क्लासेस ही जाना चाहिए सो दैट यू आल्सो गेट दैट कॉन्फिडेंस इन लेक्चर इटसेल्फ. हाँ, पर कुछ अगर इजी है आपके लिए देन यू कैन डेफिनेटली स्विच फॉर जूम लाइव और मे बी रिकॉर्डेड लेक्चर्स. पर सबसे बड़ा दिक्कत रिकॉर्डेड लेक्चर्स, सबसे कम व्यूइंग कभी होता है पता है रिकॉर्डेड लेक्चर्स का? ऑडिट सीजन में. ये जो आपका जुलाई अगस्त सितंबर आएगा ना तभी सबसे कम व्यूइंग होएगा लेक्चर्स का बिकॉज डेफिनेटली इट्स नॉट इवन स्टूडेंट्स फॉल्ट बिकॉज उनका वर्क थोड़ा डिमांडिंग हो जाता है एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम. सो दैट इज द थिंग. बट या यू हैव टू कीप अ मिक्स ऑफ फिजिकल एंड डिजिटल लेक्चर्स बोथ डिपेंडिंग अपॉन योर वीकनेस एंड स्ट्रेंथ.
Okay, this is very good. Uh, See, we have just kept our Instagram and LinkedIn handles on the chat box.
Right.
If you feel like connecting with us, myself or Rahul, you can connect on these handles. and we can be very, very happy to be with you and guide you in whatever manner possible. Uh, to move this ahead, I am thinking that we will keep this short, Rahul, maybe another five,
Sure.
7 minutes, 10 minutes.
Sure.
We'll not drag it too much because we are going to do this regularly, maybe every 15 days. So we will
Yeah.
catch up on other topics, and people who have not been able to join can look at the YouTube
Yeah. Yeah.
broadcast also afterwards. So we will keep those options open for those who missed out. Okay. Uh,
Sure.
in the meanwhile, I would like to ask this question: that what is the changing trend in the CA exams and the CA as a profession? Many people today are discussing that IT is a better choice. One should become an engineer, or one should become join CFA, like you were already discussing, if
Right.
at all you want to do accounting and tax and so on. So there is a bit of loss of interest. Also, the institute's data is a bit worrisome on the overall trend of the profession
Hmm.
as far as number of people who are joining. But personally, I am very, very optimistic, and I think that this is going to be requirement of the future when India becomes a
Right.
$5 trillion economy. I don't think accounting is a choice,
Right.
or compliance is a choice, or advisory is a choice in a growing economy like this. And also, you know, there is going to be amazing amount of demand on capital markets, on BFSI, banking and financial
Financial
sector,
service.
and
Yes. Yes. Yes.
lot of other demand is going to be there in this particular field. But what is your take on that, and what do you think is going to be the future of this profession?
Okay. Now this, Mitesh bhai, there's some wonderful news on this. Our current ICAI president, in a recent conference, he made an announcement. Okay, that was a very beautiful announcement that by 2047, India is in need of 30 lakh new chartered accountants. We have a need of 30 lakh new chartered accountants. This could be a very disturbing news because in the past 65, 70 years, we have produced hardly 4.5 lakh chartered accountants. And now in the next 20, 23 years, they want around 30 lakh chartered accountants, which is going to be phenomenal. Now, this cannot be achieved overnight. So once that announcement came in, a follow-up announcement has been made. A press release has been made by the ICAI that from this very year onwards, from June 2024, okay, CA Foundation and CA Inter will be held 3 times in a year. CA Final still remains twice a year, but CA Foundation and CA Inter will be held 3 times in a year. This is in line with the announcement because they want to increase the number of registrations. Because इसमें सही भी है mentality in a way कि पहले अगर मान लो कोई बच्चा है वो CA इंटर दे रहा है, एक ग्रुप फेल हुआ, एक ग्रुप पास हो गया, तो उसको अगला ग्रुप पास होने के लिए 6-8 महीने और लग जाएंगे, विच प्रैक्टिकली मीन्स कि उसका 1 साल खत्म हो गया. सी व्हेन यू आर अ स्टूडेंट यू विल काउंट कि मेरा 1 साल वेस्ट हो गया. फाउंडेशन में भी जब भी बच्चा पहले एक बार फेल हो जाता था तो वो बोलता था अरे यार अभी 6 महीना वेट करना पड़ेगा. सो नाउ दैट टाइम गैप विल बी लेसन which will give the students motivation to give the exam in the next 2-3 months or maybe maximum 4 months. ये एक पहली बात है. And second thing, agreed that the data of the ICI registration was not very happy. But Mitesh bhai, it is a happy thing for us to know that in May 2024, जो अभी आने वाला attempt है, there are record registrations and around 4.5 lakh students approximately are giving
Wow.
all the exams. 4.5 lakh students. This has been a
Wow.
phenomenal number. Yes, this has happened. If you look at the institute's steps from 1st July 23, पहले 8 पेपर्स को 6 पेपर्स कर दिया. राइट, फिर अभी बोला कि डिमांड है 30 लाख चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स का. फिर अभी बोल दिया कि साल में 3-3 बार एग्जाम होगा. सो व्हाट दे आर ट्राइंग टू डू इज, ये जो इंडियन स्टूडेंट्स का फ्लेवर चेंज हो रहा है ना टुवर्ड्स सीएफए और सीपीए, ओके, सो दे आर जस्ट ट्राइंग टू मैच इन लाइन विद द इंटरनेशनल कोर्सेस so that students are trying to give this course the due respect. And no matter what industry says, no matter what anyone says, I still can vouch that the return on investment on a CA course is higher than any other course. I
Oh,
remember
wow.
that the amount which my parents would have spent, they did not even have that kind of money, was not even 1.5 lakhs on entire CA course which I have done for a span of 5 years. और इससे सस्ता कोर्स डेफिनेटली आपको नहीं मिलने वाला है. फर्स्ट थिंग है ये. सेकंड, इसका रिटर्न तो बॉस यू माइट एज वेल fetch it out in the first month also after you become a chartered accountant. So that ratio will always be the great ratio otherwise also. And like you very well put up, compliance is not an option, advisory is not an option, accounting is not an option. So the future looks very, very bright, brighter than it could have ever been. So I don't think that there is any reason for anyone joining the course to have any single worry also. Whatever international courses they want, they can keep it as add-on, but no, that can't be a substitute. No, that's not possible.
Super, super. Even I think that the quality of this course is very high class.
Yeah,
People get a lot of basics right. People are humble and down to the earth after finishing such a humongous syllabus and learning. Uh, Also, we have found large corporates or any big companies not having chartered accountant is rarest of the rare. Uh, and even internationally, I've been traveling to various countries and running a lot of practice in other countries also. And I found
right.
that chartered accountants are in every corner of the world, and they are leading the accounting, the tax, the CFO domain across the globe. And there is a lot of trust, even though the
Trust.
governments wouldn't have given official authority for Indian chartered accountants to sign audits in those countries. But the trust level is very, very high on Indian chartered accountants, and they are in high demand across the globes in advisory firms, in accounting, tax firms, and also in the industry at large. So I think there is a bright future for this course and the students who are doing this course, and this is going to remain relevant for a long, long time. And people who qualify now are smarter generation than what we were before.
Definitely.
They have got lot of uh, amenities and facilities and digital media and other access, so they can do much better than what we could have done in our career. This through this show, there is a very very deep interest and intent on part of both myself and Rahul and other team members, Sunita and others, to give you the best of the best uh, pearls which have come in our experience to enrich your journey as CA aspirants, be it that you are starting the CA or you already jumped or plunged into the process, or you are in the conclusion phase, or you are in a uh, a phase where you are struggling with attempt on attempt. We will try to add value in the process. We run a small initiative called as Mission First Attempt
First attempt.
as our social give back idea, and we want everyone who is connected with us to achieve this Mission First Attempt. With this, we will try to wind up today's session and wish you a very very best for your career and your articleship and your future. We will come up with many more sessions like this, and the announcements will come on the Instagram and other handles for the dates. Of course, those videos will also get uploaded in the YouTube channel, so you can check out those or subscribe those also and be in touch with us. We will try to get live case studies of article students, of professionals who have already passed through the process and are really doing well, of people who have given attempts after attempts and what they missed and what they did correctly. People who cleared with flying colors like Rahul and achieved ranks in their qualification and what did they do differently, what attitude they carried, and so on. And of course, teachers like Rahul can come on the show and also tell you what is the secret of learning. Because believe me, all the technical learning is on one side, but there is a real need of having right attitude, positive attitude, and right way of thinking and approach to make all the difference.
True.
With this, I would like to thank you for joining this course, this program, and being in touch with us. Rahul, you want to share anything as your
Just one thing,
concluding remark?
just one thing to all the participants that friends, we are open that in case you want us to discuss something, you want us to pick up any topic and you want a session on that, we are open to that. So please feel free to get in touch with APMH, get in touch with me. Me and Mitesh Bhai as a team also are always willing to help you out. So that's it. Have a very good night, and we are going to see you all very, very soon in the next session with a new topic. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much. Bye.